You often hear it said that we are moving into a new consciousness, a new age, a new era for humanity. You often hear people talk about the raising of consciousness and how when the collective consciousness is raised, it will miraculously transform the world in which you live. And people speak of this as if it is an event that occurs just by willing it to be, by watching, by standing back and letting it happen. That it happens because of astrological forces, that it happens because the collective consciousness automatically changes when the age changes. But there is still an element of personal responsibility. If you do not take personal responsibility, then how will you change? And personal responsibility is paramount for any change of a collective consciousness. Because you cannot just step back and say, oh, it'll be so great when everybody changes and consciousness rises. The change has to occur within you, each of you. It is a personal change that makes the collective change. But it is not something you can simply watch or observe or wish it to be present amongst all of the peoples. No, you must make that change within yourself. Each of you must make that change. Without that, you will have many people watching and a collective consciousness that will remain as it was, and you will move not forward, but backward if you are not lucky enough to simply be stagnant. An alteration of the collective consciousness ultimately is a personal responsibility for each individual. You must change yourself. You must take responsibility for yourself. You must take responsibility for your actions. Yes, there is a collective karma. There is a collective consciousness. But it is made of individual consciousnesses. And that means that you are individually responsible for your contribution to the collective consciousness. You can look at the governments throughout the world and just see how they have responded to the coronavirus that has currently rent governments in twain. But those governments that were successful at responding and those governments that weren't aren't divided by democracy and republic and dictatorship. They are divided by the responsibility, the personal responsibility that the people at the top of the government took upon themselves. Everything comes back to personal responsibility. Forms of government do not make people safer, nor do they make people more unsafe. Forms of government do not build roads or cause there to be a lack of roads built. It is the personal responsibility taken by the leaders in whatever form of government and how they direct that government for either self-benefit, benefit of the people, or benefit of a legacy to the children of tomorrow. This comes down to a spiritual question. And it comes down to something that you should realize when you look at humanity through the ages. There has existed a tendency always for governments to ultimately divide the classes, to rule by taking advantage of one class for the benefit of another class. And this is a total failure that will not be in step with the coming age, because one class of people is ultimately what you have. And when you have one race, one people, and you become ever smaller globally due to electronic communication, instant communication, it is harder and harder to perpetuate the myth of the differences in different cultures. Because truly all peoples are the same. We are one race. We all strive for the same things, for security, for happiness. And you see these problems at times where someone will say, a strong hand will fix this. You see the problems where people will say, if we would just punish those who do bad things. But that is so foolish. Why do bad things happen? Bad things happen because some people don't have enough to eat. Bad things happen because some people feel insecure. Bad things happen because some people live in poverty. Bad things happen because some people don't have health care. Bad things happen because of the inequities in your world. Does this mean everyone is 100% equal? No. Everyone in value as a spiritual being is equal. Everyone in capacities of their abilities cannot be legitimately said to be equal. But everyone is of equal value. Will some people achieve more than others? Of course. Will there always be some disparities? Of course. But crime is not prevented with a strong hand. That only increases the problems and fills your prisons, or if you're barbaric enough, your death rows. And even prison has its own barbarity. These are problems you create by such a grave disparity. See where there is protest. See where there is rioting. See where these things exist. Oh, and where are the protests? Well, it is like this. If everyone feels safe, if everyone is comfortable, if everyone has what is needed, there is too much to lose to be out rioting and protesting. So, what causes these problems is improper governance, racial disparity, and mostly poverty and injustice. So if you're having problems, the answer isn't, oh, call out the unmarked authorities to sneak in and whack people over the head. No, the answer is to fix your broken system. And your systems are broken, severely, severely broken, and you have no desire to fix them because you think it should be fine just to call somebody out to whack the impoverished over the head so you can continue to take advantage of them. But let yourself rest assured, karma is a harsh taskmaster, and there is no escaping from karma, now, later, or ever. Karma is balanced, and you cannot in any way dissuade or prevent that balance. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love yourself as if the world depends on it. It does. We leave you with blessings and with peace. Peace be with each